If you are struggling to get people to buy your digital products, this might be the video for you. Now, if you think I'm going to give you some salesy sales trick, I'm not. That's not what this is about. But the one thing that you might be missing is trust. Because the best way to get people to buy from you while still being able to sleep well at night is by building trust with your audience. People buy from people that they trust, and that is especially true when you are selling something like an ebook or a course, some type of digital product like we teach you in Full Stack Engines. The good news is there are a bunch of ways that you can immediately start building trust with your audience, and I'm going to show you some examples today so that you can start implementing them now. So let's go look. We're going to look at 3 different places that you can start to think about how you can be building trust with your audience. We're going to look at your content, we're going to look at the emails that you're writing to your email subscribers, and we are going to look at sales pages. So we're going to start here with content. I am on Threads right now, and there's 2 things that you want to think about when you're creating content, whether it's your short form content like Threads or TikToks, or it's your long form content like blog posts or YouTube videos. What you want to be thinking about is, how can I show people what I know? And the second thing that you want to think about is, how can I show them the transformation that I can offer? So we'll start with showing what you know. We're going to look at Mr. Paul Scrivens on Threads. Paul is my partner. We created Full Stack Engines together. He gives the best advice. I will make sure to link to his Threads account down below in the comments. So in this thread, Paul is basically giving a little mini class on how to change a headline so that your sales page is more captivating. It shows more about what you're going to get out of the product that's being offered. And so he's going through and giving very specific ideas on how he started with this sales page with the headline, the iterations that he did, the small changes that he made to make it a little bit better and more enticing for people, and just going through step by step and giving a lot of nice value on this one very specific topic. He's showing what he knows about writing headlines for sales pages. When you give advice like that, people notice it, especially people who have this problem that you're talking about. And what happens is you end up getting responses like this: just here to ask you to please do this again next month when I will be working on a sales page for a new offer. So she's found this thread valuable, immediately feels trust to say, I'm going to buy that as soon as I'm ready to next month. So I have another example of showing what you know, and this is a TikTok video, 8 seconds long. We don't even need to listen to it. You can just look at the screen and watch what she's doing. This is my friend Shani. She is one of our students, and she teaches people how to make stained glass, is one of the things that she does. This is literally an 8-second long video. But it's so perfect. Like, these visual niches are so perfect for showing what you know, because I don't know anything about stained glass, but I can tell that she's doing a really good job. And so if I were someone that were doing stained glass and I was like, oh my God, I want my solder lines to look like that, I know that I can trust Shani knows how to do this because she just showed me. She has shown exactly what she knows. And that's a really good thing, and then it builds trust easily because you can look at her comments over here. There's 128 comments on this 8-second video, and it's all there. It's asking questions. What are the benefits of lead-free solder? What flux do you use? Hey, I just tried to solder for the first time. It was rough. I think my solder is burning and it does not stick. People see that she knows how to do this, and they trust her enough to ask these questions because they know that she's going to be able to answer them. They're here at the beginning and she's over here, and they can see that just by watching this video because she's showing what she knows. Now, the next thing that you want to be doing with your content, and this is sometimes easier in your short form content, but you can do it in both, and I'm going to show you examples of both. But we're going to look at next Rachel from This Crafty Home. She's another one of our students, and she teaches people how to she teaches super busy moms how to do freezer meal planning so that they save time every night and don't have to stand over the stove chopping broccoli every night. She teaches you how to prepare a month's worth of freezer meals in 4 hours on Sunday. And she is showing the transformation. She's showing exactly what you're going to get if you get one of her freezer meal planning guides. You're going to go from, I have to cook dinner every single night, to having dinner. I'm going to show you as soon as this is the transformation. You've got a month's worth of dinner sitting on your counter that you can put in the freezer and just plop it in the Instant Pot at the end of every night instead of cooking every night. So showing that transformation, she has an amazing business, multiple 5 figures every month from $19 freezer meal planning guys, $19 to $30-something freezing meal planning guides. And it's very closely tied to these transformation images that she shows in her content. So show that transformation. I'm going to show you another version of that. This one's going to be in your longer form content. This is a blog post from Nancy at Noble Knits, another one of our former students. And with a visual niche like this, it's not hard to show the transformation. This is it. Do you want a beautiful scarf that looks like this? Excellent. This is the pattern for you. Seeing this is enough to go, she knows how to make that. I trust her. I want the pattern. Showing that transformation is so important when it comes to building trust. This stuff, it's if you've got a visual niche like this, it feels like it should be so much more complicated than this. It's not. Show the beautiful picture. People will look at it and say, I want that. She can show me how to make it. So showing that transformation is super important. The next place we are going to look at to start building more trust with our audiences is our emails. And if I just said the word emails and you said, oh, I have email subscribers, but I never have any idea what to send them in my emails, then this is going to help you with that problem too. Because one of the best ways to build trust, especially through emails, is by telling stories. And so we are going to look at an example of a very simple story written to our Odd Noodle email subscribers by Paul Scrivens. It's not anything complicated, okay? Tell a little something about what happened to you during the week. Something that's relatable, doesn't even necessarily have to relate back to business. But in this example that we're looking at from Paul, we save a lot of the emails that we write on Odd Noodle so that we can refer back to them, or you guys can refer back to them. But this is exactly how it starts. I'm overweight and not in a good way. I'm skinny fat. It gets your attention right away. It's quirky. It's not something you were expecting to get from what's supposed to be a business email, but it's also very relatable. And when things are relatable, it's much easier to trust the person. Not that everybody's going to be like, yeah, I'm overweight and skinny fat too, but we all have like little problems like this that bug us, annoy us, and so we can relate to it. It's totally relatable. And again, when you can relate to somebody, when someone feels like, I'm like that too, they get me, I understand how he feels, that starts to build trust with your audience. And what goes on with stuff about skinny fatness? He does spin it into a business lesson too. We can see it's the same with business, and then we go on to do a whole lesson. So now we're also incorporating that showing what you know in here too. But you almost don't even have to tie it back into whatever your niche is in order to build the trust. It's just sharing that little part of you, like a little story from the week. Like, what'd you do that was funny with the kids? What's a problem that you overcame this week? What was that solution that you found? It's going to show that you're relatable. It gets people to just get to know you. And when they get to know you, they should start to trust you more too. So in your emails, tell stories. Keep it simple. It does not have to be anything crazy, but it's gonna help people to start to see you as somebody that they can trust. All right, the next place that we are going to look at how to build trust is on our sales pages. And on our sales pages, just like we talked about with content, showing a transformation is so important. And I'm going to show you the best example of how to show a transformation on your sales page. We're going to look at, this is Melissa Neal. She is one of our students as well. Melissa has just exploded. She's a whole brand now. She's the whole deal. She's got a beginner's strength training course, beginner's strength training program. And so this is the sales page for that. And I'm going to show you the greatest way that you can show a transformation. Are you ready for this? She has former students of hers who have done her program and their before and after shots. There is no better transformation visually that you can show than this. You almost don't even need the rest of the words on the page, because if I can see, oh, I can go from looking like this to looking like that, I'm in. So show that transformation on your sales page. If you do not have a visual niche like this where you can show it so visually like this, you might want to get a little bit more creative. I'm going to show you our Full Stack Engines sales page and how we do it on here. So we do it on here with charts, because obviously, let's scroll up. Full Stack Engines is going to show you the best way to build your own automated sales machine and finally hit those $300 plus days that you've been waiting for. Here's Melissa again, by the way. So we could show a stack of no money and a stack of money, but that's not really trustworthy. So instead, what we do is, as far as showing that transformation, is we can show things like this. Charts where the line is going up and you can see the actual income. So you might, if you don't have that very easily visual niche, you might need to get a little creative with showing that transformation. And charts and things like that are one way to do it. You also do it with your headlines, finally hitting those $300 plus days. Like, that's the transformation that people are looking for. Like, they want to get to that point where they are making consistently solid money every day. So in your headlines, you can do it as well. The other thing that you want to be doing on your sales pages, and we're going to use Kid Activities with Alexa as our example. She's another one of our students, and she has an amazing business. I think Alexa might be the one that I'm most jealous of. She teaches parents, as far as like their niche, she teaches parents how to teach their little kids, and I mean their little kids, up to 3 years old. So from 0 to 3 years old. It's basically like she's saying, a virtual preschool that you as a parent can do yourself. And what's important on her sales page, Alexa does a great job building trust in her content, building trust with the emails that she sends and all of those things. But what she also does, so by the time people get to this sales page, they already know enough about Alexa to feel like, okay, I know what she knows is going to help me. It's going to solve these problems for me. It's going to make me a better teacher for my kids. So because she's doing that with her content and her emails and all of that, her sales page has to do a lot less work, but it still has to do some work to build trust. So one of the ways that she's also doing that here is, if we scroll far enough, is she's including testimonials. So she's got this section with what other parents say. Her preschool teacher was complimenting me on how well S used scissors. She was amazed at how her fine motor skills were so strong. I owe it to you, Alexa, and your program. So when you can include testimonials like this, they really do reinforce that trust that you have already been building previously with your content and your emails. So when you can, make sure that you include testimonials on your sales page. And you might be right at the beginning and you don't have any testimonials yet. And the secret to overcoming that is you become your first testimonial. It's more than likely that you have gone through some sort of transformation yourself, because now you're teaching it to others. So have a section, your About Me section or something like that on your sales page, where you talk about, my life used to be like this, and then I learned this, and now my life is like this. That becomes your first testimonial until you start to get sales and get people excited about what you're offering to them, and then they become your testimonials. So those are the 3 ways that you can be building trust. In your content, you're going to show what you know. You're going to talk about the transformation. You're going to show that transformation. Again, when we look back at that image of Rachel working in the freezer meals, show this. That's what people want. So in your content, in your emails, you're going to do some storytelling, okay? Start thinking about when you are going through your week and something funny happens or something crazy happens, something relatable, make a note, a mental note, write it down, whatever you need to do, and talk about that in your next email. You're going to seem more relatable to your audience, and when you're more relatable, you're more trustworthy. And then finally on your sales pages, show that transformation, either visually, like we saw with Melissa, or if you can show it, if you need to, show it in your headline, like we do here. Finally hit those $300 plus days that you've been waiting for, and share those testimonials, okay? If you have questions, if you have other ideas that I didn't talk about for building trust with your audience, put them in the comments down below, and I would love to hear how you implement any of these this week too. Let me know.